episode of The Private Record, and this story is actually like mind-boggling, mind-blowing. While the guest on this episode, I'm actually lucky she doesn't want her name or face to be out there, and I'm lucky for this reason. Her name is the hardest name I've ever had to pronounce, and I know I would butcher it if I tried it, so I'm not even going to do it, and I don't have to because she wants to be anonymous, so the joke's on you. But this story, I've heard a lot of like shitty, possessive, crazy guy stories. I've heard my fair share of them. A lot of them are really, really crazy and basically unbelievable. This one is the craziest and most unbelievable one I've ever been told. And that is no exaggeration. I can't believe the guest on this episode is, well, here today, sane, and like can put a sentence together. This girl, when she was 17, she was just a senior in high school, was emotionally and mentally terrorized like no one I've ever even heard. She called the story up front. She gave the headline of The Prom Date from Hell. That is underselling it, okay? And I was excited about that. I was excited to hear a Prom Date from Hell story. This is like way more fucked up than that. You want to strap in for this one. This one is absolutely crazy. She basically tells the story of the worst guy. So you're about to hear a story about the worst guy, all right? So get ready. Yeah, that's all I'm going to say. Actually, you know what? I'm going to leave it there. You're going to hear a story about the worst guy. If you want to be a guest on the show, go to theprivaterecord.com and submit yourself as a potential guest. Follow us on all socials, TikTok, Instagram, at The Private Record. And of course, subscribe to our YouTube channel at The Private Record. Like, comment underneath this episode. Actually, you know what? I want to know. Comment specifically if you think this is the craziest shitty guy story you've ever heard. I really want to know. The craziest crazy guy story you've ever heard. Is it that or is it not that? Because it is for me. Comment below on this video. Let's get a conversation going about that specifically. And of course, if you like this episode, share it with your friends. I want to do this forever, as I always say. And the best way to do that is for a lot of people to listen to it a lot of the time. So let's blast it out there if you love it. Speaking of love, I love you. I love you very much. Thank you so much. I appreciate you for listening and watching every week. It means the world to me. And as always, I want to make sure I thank you because I really, really, truly do. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. Enjoy the episode. Like I said, strap in. This one is absolutely crazy. I'll see you soon. Thank you for coming on the show. I know a very little about your story, but I do know that it sounds like one I'm really, really going to like. So why don't you just briefly introduce yourself and give us like the headline, which I think is a pretty easy headline to deliver, but I'll let you do it and then we can jump right in.
Yeah, so you got my name right. It's
Cool.
I live in Canada. I'm from Ontario. My little headline for what we're going to talk about was Prom Date from Hell.
Yeah, that's exactly what I wanted it to be. Prom Date from Hell. Prom Date from Hell. That's good. Brings back memories too. Okay, well, why don't you start wherever you want, go as far back as you want, however you want to tell it. It's totally up to you. Go for it.
Yeah, so it's a bit of a long story. I'm currently 24.
Mm-hmm.
This was about 7 years ago, back in 2017. I was in grade 12, and it was a few months before prom.
Mm-hmm.
And I was kind of a floater in high school. I had different groups of friends, but I wasn't per se like popular. I wasn't per se like a nerd or anything. I kind of just talked to everyone.
Cool.
That being said, I was so anxious about prom. I didn't want to go alone. I didn't want to be that loser, the girl who never got asked. So I was on like this mission to find a prom date. So that's kind of how I'll start it there.
Great.
So naturally, we were in high school, grade 12, we were at a party, and a friend had brought in some random guy with him who was his friend. He was a bit older. I remember seeing him, didn't think anything of him, didn't find him like crazy attractive or anything. We maybe said hi and bye, and that was it. And then later on, maybe about a couple days later, my friend texted me and was like, hey, my friend was kind of into you. Would you want to just like hang out so you can get to know them? I was like, okay, this works out. Like, why not? So we meet up a couple times, always with groups of friends. We just start to get to know each other. It was more of a friendship. This person, he went to university about 6 hours away.
Okay.
So he was kind of there for like his winter break when we met. So he eventually goes back to university, and we stay more so on like a texting type of terms. That's kind of how it all started. Everything was normal. It was more of a friendship. Like, how was your day? How's school going? Things like that. And then I would say a couple months into that, he was going to come back home. He was finishing for the summer. And obviously they finish around April, but I was in high school, so I go till the end of June. That's when...
How much older? Is he like a year or two? How much older is this guy than you?
About a year and a half.
Okay, so he's close in age. Okay, yeah.
Yeah. So that's when things start to get a little weird. He asks to like hang out on our own when he gets back. During the time we were talking, he did mention things about mental health. He said he had suffered from depression. He had opened up and said he had attempted to take his own life before. And he felt really comfortable and vulnerable with me. At the time, I had just lost a family member as well, so I was a bit vulnerable and just shared that. Not kind of using that as an excuse for anything, but I would say we were both kind of, or I thought we were in like this kind of sad era together, we were bonding kind of on that end.
Yeah.
So he comes out home, and he actually doesn't live too far from me. And we meet up. This is the first time we hang out alone.
Okay.
And he asks me to go for a drive. So he takes me on this drive, and I had a mutual friend of his who was a girl who actually dated him. And she was acting a little weird. I kind of just thought it was like a jealousy thing.
Yeah.
I told her, I was straight up. I was like, look, I'm looking for a prom date. I don't want to go alone.
Yeah.
Don't worry about it.
Right. Very straightforward. Utilitarian. Look, this is not that big of a deal. I just want to go to prom with somebody. Yeah.
So she was acting weird. We weren't like close friends, so I just kind of blew it off. But I, heard through the grapevine, she kept talking about it. So we're on this drive, and he pulls over to like this lookout, and parks the car, turns it off. At this point, I'm 17 going on 18. I've never done anything. I've had my first kiss, never done anything else. He kind of like looks at me, and then he starts asking me like questions about that. Have you had sex? What have you done? What are you into? And I was like, okay, this is weird.
Yeah.
I was like, I haven't really done anything. Like, I don't feel comfortable doing anything.
Right.
I was like, I don't know if you're getting the wrong idea. Like, we're just kind of like getting to know each other, like a friendship thing. And then he was like, okay. And then he looked at me, and he just straight in like went for a kiss.
Whoa, that's not how you read the writing on the wall, dude. Wow.
Yeah, so being me, I was like, oh, like I didn't know what to do.
Sure. Yeah.
I felt bad. Like I knew he was in a weird place, whatever.
Okay.
So I let it happen. I didn't say anything. Unfortunately for myself, I say it progresses. I'll say like he like touches me and stuff, and that's as far as it goes.
Okay.
And then I get really embarrassed. I didn't want it to happen. It was never like, is this okay? Can I do this? I straight up said, like, this is weird. I don't feel comfortable. And then I was like, okay, like, take me home. Like, I got a friend to text me and be like, oh, there's an emergency.
Good, yeah.
So he takes me home. And then that was kind of the first, like, huge red flag.
Yes, okay.
I felt disgusted. I was like, I immediately went home and showered. I, like, was embarrassed. I didn't tell anyone. I didn't want my friends to know or anything. I would say I go to school the next day. Everyone knows.
Oh, no.
Every single person knows.
Oh, God. What? Okay, yeah.
So obviously they didn't hear from me.
Of course.
So went through the grapevine. He had told people, and he kind of, let's say, added more to the story.
You don't say. God, it's so the case that someone who blasts out information like that also adds layers of untrue things to it. Like those two things go hand in hand, and one is worse than the other. It's just like, I fucking hate that shit. But yeah, okay, keep going.
And as a teenager, like, high school is kind of your life. Like, anything that gets out of you is like devastating. So I was so embarrassed. My friends knew, and all of this, people were asking me questions. I was like, I don't really want to talk about it. Whatever. I don't talk to this guy for a little bit. I'm like very dry over text. And then there's another party. His friends want to hang out. So we're at this party, whatever. He's being nice. He's being fine. Nothing happens. He acted completely normal. And over the span of time, it was like a couple of weeks, we were talking. There were phone calls, like, how was school? Or like, I kind of felt bad. I didn't know what to do. I didn't want to talk about what happened. I kind of just felt stuck. And it sounds really weird because you could be like, this guy did that to you, just like ghost him, never talk to him again.
Sure.
People kept bringing him around. He was always there. He was always messaging me, always trying to FaceTime and call me. And then he finds out, like, I obviously have friends who are males at the time. And I had a really close friend, and we would go for walks, like go to the gym and stuff like that. Nothing had ever happened, but he finds out about this, and he sends me a location at 2 a.m. in a forest, and it's a message, and it says, I'm going to kill myself. Why are you talking to other people? You're a whore, like, you're crazy, saying all of this stuff.
Whoa.
So I freak out, and I try calling him. I literally go searching for this man.
Oh my God, how manipulative.
Because we're in the same place.
Yeah.
I get my friend to drive me around. I couldn't drive at the time. I was like looking in a forest, everything, like trying to do the location.
Wow.
And then a couple hours pass, and he calls me, and I'm like, hello, like, are you okay? What's going on? He was like, I'm fine. I was like, I'm sorry, like, I don't understand what happened, or like, what you thought was between us. I do have other male friends. Nothing happened. And then he was like, okay, I'm so sorry. Like, I'll never do it again. And I was like,
whoa, okay. Yeah. I mean, that's so manipulative, but it's also so presumptuous. Like, you guys clearly weren't dating. You weren't even close to that. And at 2 a.m., he sends you, drops you a pin of a location in the forest saying he's going to kill himself because you have a guy friend?
Yeah.
You're in trouble. You are in trouble. Wow. Jeez, this is not going to go someplace good. Okay, keep going. Yeah.
Oh, so that's kind of red flag number 2.
Yeah.
At this point, it's a little more deep. I feel stuck. I've tried to stop talking to him. He's always there. No matter what I do, he's somehow always there. I didn't know this at the time, but he had gone and messaged male friends of mine and threatened them on like Facebook and stuff, telling them they can never talk to me again, like to stay away from me, talking as if I was his girlfriend, that we were together.
Wow.
There was never talk of like, are we dating? Like, what
Right.
are we? Boyfriend, girlfriend, this and that. It was just like it happened. All of a sudden, I was claimed. I was his girlfriend. And like, I had no idea that he was talking to these guys, threatening these like guys. And I started losing friends. All of a
Oh
sudden, he was
man.
talking to me. There was a point where I was eating lunch with my biology teacher every day because I had no one.
Wow. So this guy's just like bulldozing his way into your life. You're clearly vulnerable. I mean, you're only 17 at the time.
Mm-hmm.
And we can get to this, but it makes me wonder if it doesn't really matter, but it makes you wonder if he had the intention of doing it this way, or if he was just sort of unstable to the point that he just was acting naturally from moment to moment, and this was his version of acting naturally. It doesn't really matter, but it's kind of it kind of is interesting to think about whether this was sort of a big plan of his, an overarching master plan, or if he's just like a fucking bull in a china shop, just like swinging his arms all over the place and hurting whoever come what may.
So it is really interesting you say that because eventually later on in the story, it was part of like this mastermind plan.
Whoa. Okay, keep going. Yeah, yeah.
So that's kind of where I'm at. Now I'm stuck in this relationship. I've never had a boyfriend in my life.
Hmm.
And I'm like, oh, okay, I guess this is what dating is. I guess
Yeah, you don't know.
this
You
is
don't
it.
know.
I
That's
don't
yeah,
know.
God, yeah. Okay, yeah.
So we continue on. It's getting months has gone by. I met him. I want to say around April. We're getting into May, June at
Hmm.
this point of
Hmm.
2017. And over those months, if I talked to any guy, it was, I'm going to kill myself. How could you do this to me? I had to give my the password to my phone. He would go through my phone all the time.
Whoa.
He wouldn't let me drink if we went out to parties and stuff. He would say, "Oh, it makes me feel weird." Even though he would be drinking, I was
Wow.
too.
What a
Um,
dick.
and then there was this huge thing. There was this big party, and I'm talking to friends. We're like in a basement. We're all 17. It's in someone's unfinished basement.
Right, right.
We're playing like beer pong and stuff like that. I'm talking to another friend, obviously a male,
Hmm.
with other girls around.
Hmm.
This
Hmm.
guy's girlfriend is right beside him.
Mm.
And then all you hear is a big, huge bang. And I turn and I look. This man has ripped this girl's railing off her basement stairs in anger and threw it, like unhinged off the wall, threw it. The basement kind of goes quiet. And someone looks at me, a friend, she goes, your boyfriend just ripped the railing out of the wall. And he like ran upstairs.
What?
And I paused and I was looking. I was looking around. Everyone's looking. They're like, what the fuck did this guy just do?
Yeah, yeah.
And I would look at my friend. I'm like, I'm so sorry. Like, I will
Mm.
pay for this.
Yeah.
Like, tell your mom I'm sorry. Like, I just say, he's drunk. I don't know what the fuck he's doing.
Sure, yeah.
I follow this. I follow him upstairs. I find him. He's in someone's bedroom, like a family house, random bedroom. And he's sitting there and he's pacing around this room. And I'm like, what the fuck did you just do? I'm angry. I'm embarrassed. I'm like, what the fuck did you just do?
Hmm.
You ripped a fucking railing out of the wall and threw it.
Hmm.
I was like, this isn't your house. I'm 17. I don't have the money to fucking pay for this.
Yeah.
How am I going to explain this to anyone? Like, what's going on? What's going through your head? He's like, oh, I know you want to have sex with this guy. I can see it in your eyes. He's like, if you ever go near him again, like, I'm gonna shoot myself in the head. And he shows me his phone, and he shows me that he was looking up like how to kill yourself with a gun.
I mean, hey, you don't need to look that up. You can just buy
Yeah,
bullets and get a gun and use it, you know?
yeah.
God, this is like manipulation of a vulnerable young person 101, what this guy's doing. It's just like, you keep doing that, I'm going to kill myself over and over. And it's just like, it sucks, period, full stop. But it also sucks that it works and they know it's going to work. It's so like fucked up, layer upon layer upon layer, you know? It's just,
So
it's difficult. Yeah.
yeah, at this point, all my friends are
Yeah.
like,
Right.
you got to leave this guy.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
I don't even know how I got into this relationship. I don't
Right.
know how the fuck to get out of it.
Right. Right.
So my friends are talking with me. I make him go home that night. Like his mom picks him up or whatever. And then every night since that, he would call me. It would be 2 a.m., 3 a.m., 4 a.m. It would be random locations, just things like I'm going to kill myself, I'm going to hang myself. And I was absolutely terrified.
Mm-hmm.
It even got to the point where he was like, he was saying I shouldn't go to class because I had a male teacher and I had a good relationship with this teacher. Like, he was a great teacher.
Mm-hmm.
And he said, he accused me of sleeping with my teacher. And he said he was going to kill himself. And if he does it, he's going to write in the note that it was my fault.
Oh my God. He's like taking the threats of suicide even further, you know? And
Yeah.
then I'm going to also say it was your fault, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And at this point, I'm 17. I'm terrified. I've
Yes.
never done something like this. I think he has a real mental illness.
And
I think
are you talking to anyone about this that besides your friends that are your age? Like, is anyone else involved in the goings on of everything that's happening with you?
so. Not at all. My
Oh,
parents at this point, they know I have a boyfriend. They see this side of him who's like very nice, loving. He was a very manipulative person. He
yes.
could change his personality depending on who he was around and where he was.
Wow.
So no one saw, only the little moments that he would slip up and do something crazy is when people would step back and be like, oh, what the fuck is he doing? Like,
Mm-hmm.
you need to leave.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So at this point, I take it on myself to call his parents and I say, like, I screenshotted everything. I was like, there's something wrong with your son. I think he needs help.
Wow.
I don't know what to do. And I reached out to them. The text message I get back from the parents is, why are you photoshopping messages from my son?
Whoa.
Don't ever do this again. Stay out of our family business. And I was like, I don't know what you're talking about. My dad was a psychologist at the time. And I had shared a little bit. I was like, you know, he keeps saying he's suicidal, this and that. And that was the only thing I told my parents. They didn't know. I was staying up all hours of the night, looking for this guy, crying, thinking he's dead at some points. So I reach out to his family. His family thinks I'm lying. He's told them, like, I've just photoshopped these things, that it's not true. He doesn't do that. So he's told them a whole different story. And I am now I'm a crazy girlfriend at this point.
Yeah.
I'm the crazy one.
Now you're the crazy one. Yeah. Tables have turned completely. Yeah.
So now I'm afraid that if he actually does something, his parents aren't going to believe it.
Mm-hmm.
They're going to blame me. And I'm 17. I'm like, if he kills himself for real, I'm going to jail. That was my thought. I was like, I'm going to jail. They're going to think it was my fault.
Mm-hmm.
So I just lived through those crazy months. And prom comes around. I do the normal thing. I ask him to go to prom with me. His ex-girlfriend, who goes to my school, she starts like this petition to not have people who didn't go to our school, like practically to not have guests come to our prom.
And is this a response to knowing that you're bringing him?
Yes.
Oh, and you know that, or you don't know that yet?
So I thought it was just a jealousy thing.
Okay.
She's jealous.
Yeah.
She doesn't want her ex-boyfriend there. That's all I thought of at the time. I'm 17. I'm naive. I'm like, whatever. She's just being a bitch. Who cares? Eventually, her petition doesn't work. And we end up going to prom. And this is where things get even worse for me. I get ready for prom. I'm in my dress and everything. He looks through my phone to see, I don't know what's going on. And then he goes, "You're not going to after prom." And after prom is basically just like this big, it was a lawn party at someone's house. We were all going to get tents, and it was like drinking at a bonfire. He goes, "You're not going to after prom. It makes me feel uncomfortable. You're going to cheat on me, whatever." The same story. So I go, "Okay, whatever. Like, we can just go out then." And he goes, "Oh, you're going to come home with me. We'll watch a movie." I was like, "Okay, whatever." I am like angry at this point. I know I can't, there's nothing I can do.
Yeah, you're not
I'm
gonna
like,
win.
I just have to get through prom. And I'm thinking that's when I'll end things off. Like, I'll get through prom. That's when I'll end things off.
Right,
Whatever.
okay.
People think we're like this go happy couple on the outside.
Yeah.
I tell like my friends who have seen the little snippets, I tell them, "Oh, you know, he was just drunk. Like, don't worry about it."
Yeah.
Stuff like that. So prom night comes. We go to prom. He doesn't let me take pictures with any of my teachers.
What?
I'm not allowed because he thinks I'm cheating.
With the teachers?
All of them, by the way, female and male.
I mean,
will not let me take pictures with them.
This is a whole other level of like paranoia craziness. I hesitate to use the term crazy, but like that's crazy to think that you're having sex with all of your teachers. No one in history has had sex with all of their teachers.
I've never had, at that point, I had never had sex.
Right.
At all.
And there's that too. But it's even if someone had sex or had sex with a teacher, no one in the history of the entire world has had sex with all of their teachers. Yeah. Okay.
So basically, I'm not allowed to take pictures with anyone. He makes me sit on his lap for the entire limo ride. I can't sit beside my friends. I can only talk to him. He will not let his hands off me. I'm like, he's glued to me. I'm not allowed to dance. We don't get up to dance at prom. I'm stuck at this table, miserable, eating dinner. The only free time I have away from him, to get away from him, is to go to the bathroom. And when I do go to the bathroom, he comes up with this cockamamie story of like, I went to secretly go meet up with a teacher.
Dude, how scared are you? Like, how much are you a deer in headlights? Like, talk about your mental state at this point, because it's getting to the point where he's really, really clearly unstable, clearly out of his mind. So, like, what's going through your mind even at that age where you aren't as experienced and don't know as much as you do now? Like, at that time, you must have known, like, what is going through your mind? Yeah.
So at that point, I started getting my own mental illness. I was diagnosed with panic disorder, and I was suffering from insomnia. I would maybe get 1 hour of sleep every night. Whoa. Every night was a constant me thinking he's going to kill himself or he's threatened to kill himself. I could never sleep. I was always afraid. If I would sleep, I would have nightmares. If my phone rang, if someone texted me who was of the other sex, I would panic and try and like delete it off my phone because I was scared because he went through my phone.
Wow. Wow. So he's totally got you totally turned upside down. You're totally caught in the trap. Okay. So
I'm deep in this. I have nowhere to go. I don't know what to do. Still in the mentality, get through prom night, end it, because that'll be the end of high school. He goes to a different university. I'll be going to a different one that he doesn't know yet. I'll never have to see him. So prom night ends. It was the worst prom ever. Like I spent 500. I made my parents spend $500 on like a dress and
Oh
everything, and
man.
it was the worst day of my life. The next day, I'm at home. Like seniors usually skip the day after their prom, so I'm at home. I'm just relaxing. He says he's gonna come over after work. It's around 4 o'clock. I get a phone call from his mom, and she goes, "Where's my son? He left a suicide note, and he left, like, he placed a noose. He had gone out, got rope, and just laid a noose on his bed, like staged it as if like he was going to use it later."
What?
And
Wow.
I go, "Well, he's not at my house. He's not here. He said he was coming over after work."
Uh-huh.
He goes, "I'm calling the police." I was like, "Okay, like,
Yeah, please. Yeah,
yes,
do that.
please."
Yeah.
The moment I hang up this phone, this man drives to my house. He's in my parking lot. I don't let him in.
Uh-huh.
I'm home alone.
Oh God.
I'm like, "Your mom just called.
Yeah.
She said you wrote a suicide note." Like, I'm telling him all these things. He's like, "Yeah, I was going to do it later." And I was like, "What?" I was like, "You really need to get help." I was like, "The police are on their way. Please talk to them.
Yeah.
You need to go to the hospital." And he was like, "No, don't do this to me. You can't let them take me." Keep in mind, he's of an age now, like he can legally decline to go to the hospital,
Yeah.
whatever.
Yeah. Right.
But
Yeah.
he's like, "You can't do this to me. If you don't let me in your house, like I will kill myself. I'll do it. I'll stab myself. I'll shoot myself. I'll do whatever I have to do. You need to let me stay with you." And I
What?
was like, "I can't, like, I'm not going to do that."
Good.
And then he goes, "You don't understand. My dad abuses me." And I was
Oh
like, "What
God.
the fuck?" And I was like, "Where?" At this point, I was angry. So I was like, "Where?" I'm
Yeah.
embarrassed. Neighbors are
Oh
watching.
my
I'm in a
God.
There's sirens, everything. Cops are here. I was like, "Where are the bruises?" He's like, "He punched me in the stomach." I'm like, "Show me."
Yeah.
He has no bruises anywhere on him.
Wow. Well, so
The
you're
cop,
really putting your foot down now. Like, show me, prove it. Yeah, right. No, you're not. Okay, good. Yeah.
the cops come
Okay.
and they separate us
Mm-hmm.
and they do little interviews. And the first thing I tell the cop, I go, like, I hate to use the word now, but I go, "He's crazy."
Yeah, right. Yeah.
I was like, "You need to take him to the hospital. He can't stay here. He's threatened to kill himself multiple times, almost every day. He can't be at my house. My parents won't let him stay with me. Like, you need to take him." And she's like, "Okay." She like writes down what I've told her, and I think, okay, like, I finally told someone.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I maybe didn't tell her the whole everything, but I was like, he at least needs to go get help. At
Yeah.
this point, I still think he suffers from depression
Yeah.
and suicidal tendencies.
Yeah.
That's what I
Yeah.
This female cop then talks to him. He's switched his personality. He's
What?
casually walking down the street with her, going for a walk, talking like normal. Um, he's
Whoa.
like, "My parents, they're a little weird. They don't understand me." He's like, "I'm totally fine. I went to work. I'm gonna stay with my girlfriend." Comes up with this whole story. He's like charming. He puts a charm
Right.
on.
Right. Right. Right.
The police fucking leave my house. They don't take him.
They
They leave my house.
they leave your house with him there?
Yes, they don't take him. They tell me he's okay. They don't think he's gonna kill himself, so they leave.
But it's your house. Like what? What? Okay.
So they leave. His mom leaves. After everyone leaves, I still don't let him in the house. I'm
God,
on
what a
the
nightmare.
I'm on the phone with my dad. I'm sobbing. And I finally opened up to my dad. I was like, "He wrote a suicide note.
Mm-hmm.
He said he's going to kill himself. He's at the house. He won't leave. The
Mm-hmm.
cops were here, but they didn't take him." My dad was like, "Okay, I'm on my way home. We'll drive him home," which is down the fucking street at this point.
Mm-hmm.
So as we're waiting, this other woman drives to my house. She goes, I'm like, "Hello, who are you?" She goes, "I'm his psychiatrist." And the mom called me.
Oh
I'm
wow.
here. So I see him and I was like, "Okay, like, can you talk to him? Like,
Yeah.
can you do your job? Like, I don't know. This is
Can you
this is a
have
crisis.
can you have done a better job in the past so this doesn't happen? Yeah.
So he does the same thing, puts this charm on. She leaves. She's like, oh, he's fine.
It's like everyone's in on gaslighting you or something.
I know.
Yeah.
No one, like, I told these people, I've been up for nights. He says he's tried to kill himself. He put
Right.
a noose on the bed. He wrote a 3-page suicide note.
Yeah.
I don't know
God.
what else to tell them.
The police and his psychiatrist are just like, he's gonna be good.
He's fine.
Yeah.
So thankfully, my dad comes home. He doesn't let him in the house.
Mm-hmm.
We drive him home, drop him off. And my dad goes, I met the psychiatrist, whatever. He really needs to get some help. I don't think this is good for my daughter.
Mm-hmm.
This is a lot for her to go through, whatever.
Yeah.
He gives the mom a hug. I hug him goodbye, and I get in the car with my dad. My dad looks at me, and he goes, you need to leave. Like, you can't do this anymore. This is serious. This is really bad. And I said, okay. Like, I'll do it, but like, I don't know how.
Yeah.
He says he's going to kill himself and it's going to be my fault.
Right.
And my dad was like, people who always say they're going to kill themselves, they're not going to do it. He was like, he staged a setup. He wasn't going to kill himself. No one buys a noose and then just lays it nicely on the bed.
No.
Like, so my dad's telling me, and I'm like, okay. And I tell my friends at this point, I was like, look, like, this has what's been going on. Whatever. That same night, that happened at 4. Okay. By 10 o'clock, I'm at home. I'm crying. I have one of my best friends over. And I get a message. And he says, I can't believe you didn't let me in your house. I'll never forgive you. How could you do this to me? My dad abuses me. He gives me this whole list. He's made up this story that his dad was having an affair with his mom and he caught his dad and now his dad abuses him. As a result, if he tells his mom, he comes up with this crazy thing. And I'm like, I'm sorry, I can't do this. This is too much for me. Please get the help you need. And I stopped talking. Guess it didn't go through his head.
You don't say. Okay, yeah.
And the next day, he acts completely normal.
Oh, man. I've dated people like this. This one feature that you're talking about, you get through to them, you make your case, you're very specific, you're definitive, the conversation ends, and then the next day, they come back to you as if that never happened. It's so crazy making. It makes you feel crazy. That's why it's good to do those things over text. It's not better to do in person or over voice. So you can read the conversation. You'd be like, no, I'm not crazy. I said this, and that person read it, and I'm looking at it. Yeah, Jesus. Okay, yeah.
So he acts completely... I'm not allowed to leave this relationship at this point. Like, I tried to end it with him. I even tried to end it that night, which seems bad if, like, people listening think he's actually going to kill himself. And I'm like this crazy girl who tries to break up with him. He used mental illness as something to manipulate me and control me.
Yeah.
So I reach out to his ex-girlfriend.
The one that was like doing the petition and everything, right? Yeah.
And it's now summer. School has ended. And I reach out and I say, I'm going through a really hard time. Can you tell me, like, why you started that? Like, what happened between you guys, if you don't mind me asking?
Yeah.
She tells me verbatim the exact same thing that he's doing to me.
Whoa.
He did to her.
Whoa.
And
the truth comes out.
She goes, it's only going to get worse.
Oh, no.
Straight up told me. And I said, how do I get out? She goes, you need to get rid of him somehow. She was like, I'm still in therapy for what he did to me.
Oh,
and she was like, I thought he was going to kill me. Like, I was afraid of him. And I'm like, oh, fuck.
She thought he was going to kill her.
Yeah.
Oh, God.
So I'm like, oh, fuck. Like, I'm
Yeah.
astonished. I apologized to her. I'm like, I had no idea. I was
Sure.
like, now I'm in this situation. She's like, I understand, but you need to get out. So I'm like, okay, this is the night I'm gonna end things.
Okay.
Uh, I call my friend over for like moral support, for like someone to see how crazy this is, because I
Yeah.
know what he's gonna say. He's not gonna let it happen.
No, of course not.
I put him on speaker, and I'm like, um, you know, I think you should focus on yourself. You should get the help you need.
Yeah.
Uh, I'm going to be going to university. It's going to be a stressful time for me. I think we just need time apart. And, you get the help you need. And at this point, I need to get the help I need
Hmm.
to handle this situation. Um, he doesn't have it. He's like, nope, that's not happening. It's never going to happen. And I was like, well, I'm going on vacation with my family. We go to Greece every year in
Hmm.
the summer for a month. And I said, it's over. Like, no, this is done.
Yeah.
And I'm leaving in a couple of days. So I have an out. Like, I feel
Yeah.
like I'm fine, whatever. I'll be
Yeah.
gone for a month. He goes, no, it's not happening. You'll see.
Oh no.
I'm like, ooh, okay. Um, and so then that's where it ends. And again, next day, nothing ever happened. Texting me, good morning. How was your day? How are you doing? And at this point, I feel insane. I'm
Yeah.
like, I don't
Yeah.
know what else to do. I've tried to get out. I guess I have to play along.
Jesus.
So before I leave, um, there was a moment like, so I'll take a step back. While I was in high school, we did end up like having sex. I did not really want to do it. It was like a thing after school, went to his house. Again, there was no like, can I do this? Do you feel okay with this? I remember like after therapy, what I pretty much did was I completely disassociated myself and I just laid there. I let him do what he had to do and I left. And the first thing he said after he was done was, "Are you going to tell your friends now?" And I was like, "No, I don't want anyone to know." And he goes, "Give me your phone." And he gives me my phone, goes on my group chat, and he texts, like pretends to be me and goes, "Guys, like, guess what? I just lost my virginity." And then I was like, "What the fuck?" I'm crying. And I
Oh
go, "Please
man.
take me home. I want to go home."
This is terrible. This is a fucking disgusting person.
At this point, I think after that moment, he felt he already had power over me, but I think it was just solidified.
Mm.
At that point, he felt like he'd done the deed. He owns me now at this point.
God.
Oh, this is really important too. A couple days after, he tells me, he goes, "You're pregnant."
What?
He tells me I'm pregnant, and I go, "No, I'm not." And he was like, "No, the condom broke." I was like, "No, it didn't. Like, I saw it. It
Right.
didn't break."
Right.
And he goes, "No, I went back after and I checked it and there was a hole in it." And I was like, "No, there wasn't." I was like, "Who goes back and like squeezes a condom for your fucking smut to like come out of a hole like that?" And people don't do that.
But also, that's not how getting pregnant works. That doesn't guarantee pregnancy anyway. But yeah, okay, keep going.
I
Yeah.
was like, "No, like I'm not pregnant." I told him I'm not pregnant. I'm fine. Like I've had my period. Like this is not a conversation that needs to be done.
Yeah, right, yeah.
He goes, "No, and I've told my parents."
What the fuck?
And he goes, "You'll have to take a pregnancy test."
I
He
mean,
makes me go over to his house, parents in the living room, me upstairs in a bathroom crying. They make me do a pregnancy
oh
test.
my god, this guy's for some reason this is like the sickest in the head part almost because it's
Yeah.
so impossible to even access what the motivation would be. It's like a pure power thing. It's just
I really think it was. It was just
right.
pure power. And I think he got off on like this feeling of knowing, like I knew wherever I went, he would be there. I knew Even at home, like I knew he's always going to be there. It's through my phone if it's not in person. So yeah,
Jeez.
we had like this family thing. He threatened to tell my parents, and I had like, my name is Greek. I have strict Greek parents. My parents would have fucking killed me if I was pregnant. Oh, he's threatening me. His family's making me take a pregnancy test. I'm so embarrassed. Like, worst way to lose your virginity
Yeah,
ever.
God. Oh my God. Yeah.
So there was that. So I'll jump back.
Okay.
So many fucked up things happened during those from April to June.
Yeah.
I try to end it. I go off to Greece with my family. While I'm there, it's a 10-hour time difference from there in Canada. So I always say, like, I'm busy, whatever, like, so I don't have to talk to him. I'd
Yeah.
send him the occasional message, whatever. I'm having a great time. I'm with my family, whatever. And while I'm gone, he finds out what university I got into. And then I get a message and it says, guess what? And I said, what? He goes, I've transferred university.
No.
And he shows me. So he shows me that he transferred from a university 6 hours away to now go to the university that I will be going to in September.
Oh my God. This is never ending and somehow it keeps getting worse.
And I'm like, fuck, I don't reply.
Okay. Yeah.
I don't say congratulations, whatever. I keep using the time difference. I'm busy. I'm seeing cousins, whatever.
Okay.
I'm in Greece for about a month. I come back in July. He had memorized the day I got back. He was at my house on my doorstep with flowers the day I got back.
What the fuck?
My parents were confused. They were like, I thought you broke up with him. I was like, I thought I did too.
Yeah, trust me, I've tried many times. Yeah.
Yeah. At this point, I'm like, I don't know. And I was shocked. I was absolutely shocked. While we were in Greece, I had my best friend. She was looking after the house for us. And I told her, I was like, if you ever see him, stay in the house, keep the doors locked. And I told my sister at the time, I was like, I finally opened up to everyone about how fucked up everything was.
Okay.
And I said, if you ever see him, like, please, like, call the cops. Like, don't let him be at the house. While I was in Greece, he would send the same things, like things he was going to kill himself, this and that. I learned to like stop, like ignore it, whatever. He wasn't actually going to do it at this point. But that continued. And one of the things was that my parents didn't give him the house key to watch the house, but they gave my best friend of 14 years the key to watch the house. So I was genuinely afraid for her at that point.
Yeah, right.
Because of how mad he was.
Yeah.
So luckily, nothing happened. Everything was okay. But then I get back and he's there. Yeah. And again, it's like nothing ever happened. We're going out on like dates. We're doing things. At this point, I'm forcing myself. Like, I have to be intimate with him. I don't have a choice. Every time I just like dissociate from it. At this point, I think sex is the worst thing ever. I was like, I don't know why people like this. Like, it feels terrible.
Yeah. Of course.
And I force myself to go through with this. I'm like, you know what? He's never leaving. This is my life now.
Oh my God, you must have been so just, I mean, turned upside down, but also so disillusioned and scared and trapped and like, God, that sounds so scary, the situation you're in and the mindset that you've been sort of pushed into.
Yeah, so at this point, I've completely given up. And I just give in. I live this fake facade that I have this beautiful relationship. I'm with this guy. He loves me. I love him. But behind closed doors, it's terrible. Yeah. It was to the point I was throwing up every night from anxiety because I wasn't sleeping. I got so sick. I ended up going to the hospital a week before I started university. At this point, he had enrolled in all the same classes I did. I had no choice.
He wasn't bullshitting about that. He really transferred to the school you were going to.
Yeah, he really transferred.
Oh my God, I thought he was fucking with you.
No, he transferred in. He enrolled in all the same classes. He had to be with me every single day, every minute of the day.
Oh my God.
So while I'm in the hospital, they don't know what's going on. They don't know why I'm sick. They've run all these tests. They've done MRIs, CAT scans.
Okay.
My heart rate is like, I'm almost tachycardic. I pretty much am. I was at 240 at one point.
Oh my God.
I couldn't walk. I wasn't eating. I was throwing up. So my parents wouldn't let him come to the hospital, and they told the nurses, like, if you see this person, don't let him in.
Yeah. Oh,
he obviously doesn't like that.
Oh, yeah.
At this point, my phone is taken away from me while I'm in the hospital because I'm so sick. So I can't see any of the shit he's sending. He gets word that, my friends are visiting me. He tries to come to the hospital. They don't let him in.
Good.
But he leaves flowers in a card. And in the card, it's like, oh, I'm really scared for you. I hope I get to see you soon. You'll get through this. We'll get through this. And yeah, so I'm in the hospital for about a week.
Wow.
I get out. It's like nothing ever happened. And I start university. So we have gone from April now to September.
Yeah, this is a while now. Yeah.
And just like that, he's going to every class I'm going to. I have to spend every day with him. If I don't, I'm in trouble. This is kind of funny. There's always like a welcome week for like first years in university. And Post Malone is the person opening.
Wow.
And it's my birthday. My birthday is on September 1st. And that's the day Post Malone's coming to the university. And this is when like he just got to fame. He was popping off.
Yeah.
So we're front row.
Oh boy.
It's me, my boyfriend, I say loosely with quotations.
Sure, yeah.
My friend and one of his friends. And my friend screams out, she goes, "It's my friend's birthday."
Oh,
so
boy.
The crowd sings happy birthday, and Post Malone sings happy birthday to me.
Aww.
It was like the best night. It was so fun. I ignored him the whole time. Like, he was grabbing onto me. I was telling my friend to push him away. Like, I was just purposely dancing to get away from him, to not like ruin the moment.
Yeah.
He tells me that I'm cheating on him with Post Malone because he's saying happy birthday to me. And at this point, I start laughing.
Yeah. What else do you do? Yeah, yeah.
And I'm like, at this point, I'm mean now. I'm more aggressive.
Yeah.
I'm trying to get this man to break up with me.
Yeah.
At any cost. So I'm like, you're fucked. I was like, he's saying happy birthday to me. What the fuck would Post Malone want to do with me? Like, it's a concert. Relax.
Yeah.
You are going nuts.
Yeah.
And then he's like, okay, I'm sorry. The same thing. I'm sorry. It'll never happen again. Please don't tell anyone.
Jesus.
Like, it was just a misunderstanding.
I'll say.
So I'm stuck with this man. It's my first year of university. He's going to every class. I spend every day with him.
Dude, it's getting worse. Like, it's not. How are you even here now telling me? Like, what the fuck? Like, how is he not? Like, I feel like you're going to tilt the camera over and he's going to be sitting next to you in the passenger seat.
Yeah, he's right here. Yeah. No, thankfully. So now I'm trying to come up with a mastermind plan with my friends. He likes to, like, I'm not allowed to do anything. I'm not allowed to drink, not allowed to do anything. So I do all these things that he hates because I know he's never going to kill himself, but I know it's going to make him angry.
Yeah.
So I go out. I party in my first year. I go out with my friends. They see him be crazy, and he would hit himself in the head. He would punch like through fucking walls and stuff, anything imaginable. So I'm trying my best to like get him to hate me, to be embarrassed by me, whatever. And then he meets like these twin girls, and he falls absolutely in love with these twin girls.
No shit. Are you serious? It was just like that?
Just like that. And I'm like, hell fucking yes, this is great. So I turn the tables on him, and I'm like, he went out for like at a party with them, and I'm like, great, I'm going to use what he's been doing to me this whole time.
Oh my God, you got some balls.
Oh.
That's hilarious. I would have been like, he's away. I'm fucking done. Like, get away from me.
I should have.
Right.
I should have. But
You couldn't help yourself. I get it. Yeah.
I message him and I go, I can't believe you cheated on me with these girls. I was like, your friends told me that you had sex with them. Like, they were done. Never talk to me again. Like, go after them. Like, don't ever talk to me. Like, I'm blocking you on everything, this and that. And he goes, you're right. I kissed them. And I was like, and in my head, I'm like, fuck yeah. Like, thank God.
All right.
Because he has now owned someone else.
Right.
He's
Jesus.
done with me. He
in his
owns
mind.
someone else.
God, owned, what a fucking idiot. Yeah, okay, yeah.
And like, it was the best day ever.
Right, for you,
So
yeah.
He like cheats in this relationship.
Yeah.
He's found his new targets and he's moved on. And he comes to my house that same day and he breaks up with me.
You're so lucky. You understand this never happens this way?
Yeah.
Oh my God, this is not what I expected.
It gets bad after though.
Oh boy, okay. It was too good to be true. I knew it. Okay, yeah.
So yeah, I think I'm free of this man. He breaks up with me.
Yeah.
He still threatens to kill himself. Still messages me, tells me I'm a whore, I'm a slut, all this stuff now that we're broken up.
Okay.
He like Gmails me because at this point I've blocked him. And he asks me now to kill him. He sends me detailed emails on how he wants me to break into his house at night and kill him in his sleep and shit.
What?
So I start...
A crazy person.
Yeah, so I start taking in documents. I save every screenshot, save every email.
Yeah.
I start making a folder on my computer.
Yeah.
Because I'm like, if he does something, I'm fucking ready to go to court.
Right, of course.
Like, I have all the proof. I have everything I need. He breaks up with me. He doesn't unenroll in the classes I go to. But he starts following me on campus. So he'll be in my class, and then when I leave, he'll follow me. I see him. He's walking right behind me. He's stalking me at this point.
So wait, why? I thought he moved on. What's going on here?
He wants power over me. He wants me to know that he's still always going to be there. He follows me around. I would walk to a friend's house and he'd follow me there. Like, I would see him. He'd be across the street.
Aren't you so scared?
Yeah. So it got to the point I called my university security.
Okay. Yeah.
And I had to send my location to the university security, and I sent it to a friend. And luckily at universities, they have people at nighttime who would walk you to places. Mm-hmm. But they designated someone who would walk me to and from my classes and back to like the bus.
Wow.
So I could get home. So he completely would stalk me. I knew that he knew how to get in my house. At the time, like, my bedroom was in the basement. I knew he knew how to get through the sliding doors. I knew he knew how to get through the window. All while that's going on, my parents don't know he's stalking me. They think I'm going through like this terrible breakup. I'm crying, but I'm scared. I'm terrified for my life. At this point, I think this man's gonna kill me.
Yeah. Of course.
I'm solely convinced. So I'm crying. My friends think I'm just going through this terrible breakup, that I'm so sad that I've lost the love of my life, but I'm terrified. I'm like, he's going to kill me. This is the end. Like, I'm going to die. Right. I thought I would not live to see my university graduation. I was convinced he would kill me by December of that year. I started in September. I thought I was for sure going to be dead by December.
Oh my God.
I was really sick. I was still going to classes because I really wanted this university degree.
Right.
But he would follow me every day. He would make his presence known. For months it would go on. He would still Gmail me. Like, he would go through email now and he would say, guess what? Got my dick sucked in the library. I've slept with this many girls. And I'm just like, what the fuck are these things? Like, just weird
Who
emails.
fucking cares, guy?
I'm like, okay, great, good for
Yeah.
you, you fucking crazy ass bitch. Like, stop.
Yeah,
But I'm
stop. Just
saving all of
stop.
these.
Yeah. Okay.
And it would turn from like, oh, I'm having this great life, I'm having sex, to like, please help me, I'm
Right.
gonna kill
Of
myself, come
course.
kill me.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
I'm
yeah.
saving all of this shit. Then one night, I get random texts all through my phone from random numbers. And I'm like, who the fuck is this? I ask one of them, and someone goes, someone left your phone number at a bar and said, like, call me for a good time.
Oh God.
So I call up this bar and I'm like, someone left my fucking phone number on the wall. Now I'm getting random calls. And I'm at this point, I'm smarter now. I'm like, can I come to your bar and can you show me like your security cameras
Yeah, right, yeah.
so I can see who did it? Because I know the exact time now
Right.
because I got random numbers texting me.
Right. Yeah.
I'll be able to pinpoint who it was.
Yeah.
This bar owner goes, yeah, sure, come on down. I'm still not drinking age in Canada at this point. It's 19. I turned 18. And I told him like I'm not drinking age, like whatever. He was like, yeah, come on. I go to this bar. He shows me the tapes. I see this motherfucker writing my number at these bars like a crazy person.
Yeah.
So I have to change my number. Get my number changed. At this point, I've deleted social media. I don't want him knowing anything about me, anything about my life. And before I changed my number, I sent him this message that I made like with a legal team saying, don't ever contact me. I've now made a file against you. If you threaten me or come near me, like the authorities will be contacted.
Yeah.
That's the last thing I ever said to this man. And I got my number changed. And that was it.
Does it? He stayed away.
He stayed away. And it was the worst like year of my life. To this day, no one knows exactly what I went through. I have friends who try and bring it up who are like, oh, do you remember him? Like you were so in love with him, this, that. And I try and tell them, I'm like, this wasn't a real relationship. I hate when people call him my boyfriend.
Yeah.
I hate ever referring to him as a boyfriend.
Yeah.
When I moved on, so I went to therapy after him. For about like 2 years, I was in therapy.
Yeah.
Almost a year after I met him, I met someone else who I've been with now for 5 years.
Hey, there you go.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Turns out he's ended up being a cop, which is funny.
That's exactly what you need, though. Are you kidding me?
Yeah,
that's perfect.
So I have a personal security guard.
Yeah.
But he has popped in like randomly. You know, we do live near each other.
Yeah.
I've seen him once at the gym. He used to circle around my house. He would knock on my door and then leave as if he was 10.
Oh my
like
God.
he always tried to make his presence known even after. And he tried to start rumors that like my new boyfriend was beating me and shit like that.
He won't stop. This guy, he needs help. Why won't his parents help him? Why won't somebody help this guy?
No one, to this day, no one believed me. No one ever fucking believed me. And I had receipts. I had documents. I would show these people. They'd be like, you photoshopped it, everything, his own family. No one believed me. And it was to the point I literally I'm like shaken up about it. I thought I was going to die. I thought he would kill me. I was terrified.
If you're comfortable doing it, send us some of that stuff. We'll blur out any names or anything. But if you're comfortable doing that, send it just so like we can give some context to what you're talking about. That's so upsetting and crazy. And I want people to, if you know you're here, you're telling me this story, you know it's going to go out into the world. Like I want people to know not just what to look out for, but like what's possible. People are fucking, they do not stop. And it's not, really the law isn't always there to help because they're not always breaking a law. Like you got to be fucking careful. And unfortunately, you really got to put your foot down with these kinds of people. And even that doesn't always work, obviously. But like this shit is scary, and these people are more populated in the world than I think a lot of people realize, you know. And when you're young, when you're your age, the age you were when all this started, you have no idea how to deal with this, and you have no like wherewithal to know, oh wait, I'm gonna go talk to my parents about this. I'm gonna go talk to so and so about, like, you want to keep it all in. You want to be able to handle your shit or whatever, and like it just is this snowball. By the time, as it happened with you, by the time you really did have your head around it enough to say this is not good, he was just a fucking bulldozer of your entire life.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
for almost like a year, really, he did what he wanted. He completely owned me. He had control of my life. No one really knew or understood. I would try and tell them. They would tell me to leave. Like, why can't you leave? Just leave. And I
Right.
tried so many times. He was
Right.
always there.
Yeah.
Even when he decided himself to leave, he always had to make his presence known in some type of way, which was
Right.
very creepy, very traumatic. I went through 2 years of therapy. Every time I saw his makeup car, I would have a panic attack. I still wouldn't sleep because I was afraid he was going to break into my house and try and hurt me. And it was really tough. Like, that affected the relationship, the new relationship I had. We broke up for a period of time so I could go to therapy again.
Wow.
Because I did not know what a real relationship was. I didn't know you don't go through each other's phones.
Right.
You don't
right.
spend
Right.
every day with that person.
Right. Right.
You're allowed to drink when you go out. It's okay to have male friends.
Yeah.
Like, I had to learn those things that I didn't know so I could be like a real person in a relationship. And luckily I found someone who was willing to wait for me to learn those things.
Yeah.
But it was probably the worst part of my life and the worst regret. And I always say it's because I was so naive and young, because all I wanted was a prom date.
Yeah. So the moral of the story is, don't want a prom date so bad you literally let a wolf in the door.
Like, go to prom alone and you'll be fine.
Yeah.
Prom isn't that great.
I was just gonna say, prom, take it from us, everyone out there, prom isn't that fucking great. It's okay to miss it. It's okay to go alone. It's okay to completely fucking ignore it. It's not going to matter in your life at all. Unless, of course, you end up going with someone like this, and then it'll negatively affect your life. So, yeah. Wow. I mean, this is just absolutely, absolutely crazy. I'm so happy you're doing well. I'm so happy you're in a new, good relationship that is healthy. These kinds of stories are sometimes hard to listen to. When they have a happy ending, it makes it all worth it, you know? But yeah, thank you for coming on the show. I really appreciate it.
No worries. Thank you for listening. I know hopefully at least people who watch, you know, if they are younger or like even now in their 20s, like, you don't turn off those red flags. Like, don't be afraid to actually go out and say something. You know, mental health now is such a touchy subject that you don't want to deny that someone has something going on.
Yeah, it's true.
There are people out there who use it to their own manipulation to take people who are sensitive like me and, you know, try and take advantage of them. And that's, unfortunately, that's what happened. But I mean, I lived to tell the tale, which I thought I wouldn't. And, you know, although it was traumatic, like, part of why I wanted to tell my story was, you know, hopefully it reaches other people who might be in that sort of relationship, who don't know how to get out. And like, coming from me, hopefully it gives them a little bit of a push to see that, you know, there is light at the end of the tunnel. Just, you need to do what you have to do to break it off.
That's really, really well put, and a really important thing to say. So wait, hang on one second. What's up?
Ask if she can give some very specific practical advice on like the documentation, who to contact and how in order to build the real legal.
Right. Can you, if you can you give any like specific practical advice about like how to, when someone is doing this to you in your life, how to document, what to document, and how to keep all that, like what you really want to keep together?
Yeah, so I don't know how things like work in the States in terms of the legal system.
Right.
But I know in general, like here in Canada, you can't really build something on stalking. You don't really hear of anyone doing jail time for stalking unless they've physically hurt that person,
Right.
which is really unfortunate. And that's something I learned just through my own research. I literally looked up when I was 17, 18, what do I do when someone's stalking me, how to get out of abusive relationships.
Wow.
And the best thing I could do that I learned was that everything is stamped with a date and time.
Mm-hmm.
So keep everything, document it. If you can record it, like moments, if you could hide your phone, like anything you could do to trap that person in what they're doing to you as solidified proof to build your case, is what I did. So every email I got, I saved. Every text message I had between him, I saved. If I had if he would send me like voice notes of him pretending he was killing himself or like stuff like that, I saved. Like, he wasn't smart in that sense. So I had everything. I asked people that he reached out to, that he threatened to never talk to me. I told them to save anything he sends them, to send it to me. And that's pretty much how I built everything.
Yeah.
I just picked the file and I kept it for years. Like, this was 7 years ago. I have a few things, but, you know, through therapy, I was like, okay, you know, I'll keep this stuff, but I can get rid of this stuff. But when you're going through it, the best thing you can do is, like, it is a little vulnerable to, like, I say hide your phone, but if you're in, like, an abusive situation and you don't feel like you can do that, obviously don't put yourself in that position where you could get even more hurt. But little things like that where you find their slip-ups was the best advice I could do. That's how I built my case and how I could say, I have all of this against you. If you come at me again and if you go near me, this is what I'm going to do.
Yeah. Yeah, that is good advice. Thank you. Amazing story. Again, I'm so happy you're here and therapized and happy and doing well. That makes me feel very good. And again, thanks for sharing the story like you did with me on the show.
Grace, thanks for having me on.
Definitely. We'll let you know when the episode comes out. Thanks again.
All right, no worries.
Bye.
Look.